Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, how the MA strategy works, how the indicator works, and its functionality, how effective it's been, and how we can go ahead and back test it. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let me go ahead and show you guys the indicator. Now, this is a moving average strategy. So as you can see on here, it utilizes a mini algorithm in the background, and it has some really cool settings, uh, which we can take a look at right now. So you have your Windows index, your forecast index, which the algorithm kind of looks at where the trend is moving. So you can go ahead and update that. You can move the index up or down, and then I'll show you guys later how that looks on the strategy. Once you actually take a look at the uh, files that are sent over once you purchase the indicator and the strategy, it goes more into detail of how you can use all these individual settings and how you can apply them across different cryptos. But let's go ahead and take a look once more here at the indicator. One thing that I wanted to show you guys is that because it is a moving average strategy, so you'll have calls that are a little bit closer to each other. For example, and just for transparency's sake, because it is, a moving average strategy, um, you'll have movements that are about, I don't know, like for example, if we look at this one, you would have had at 12 hours, there would have been a maybe 1.3% gain from sell to buy here, 2.16%. And really, honestly, the way that, everybody's different, so everybody can utilize this in a different format. For me in particular, I'm using this on a 30-minute time frame with ADA. So in this particular strategy here, one of the ways that I utilize this is I set my take profit at 3% or close at opposite signal. So what that does is, you know, if there's only a 1% gain or a 2% gain, and then there's an opposite signal that shows up, then my trade will close, and I'm perfectly fine with that. There's other times where I'll hit my take profit of 3%, um, and it'll close there. And sometimes there's even greater movement there, and maybe a bigger profit could have been had. But what I try to do is I try to play it safe. I try to either close at opposite signal or take profit 3%. However, you can actually utilize this whatever as any way you see fit. For example, if you would have left it open from buy to sell, you would have had roughly about a 5% gain from this buy signal to the sell signal. So about a 5% gain within 31 bars, so about 15 hours, which is really good. And then you start seeing some really cool movements, right? So from this buy signal to this sell signal, you'll get we would have had here a 14.1% gain in about a day and 13 hours, so in about 74 bars, which is really good. If you would have set up your take profit at 10%, then you would have closed out early, which is fine. Like I said, everyone uses different techniques. One of the things that I do is I set my break even to be to be set up at 2%. So, once the price action moves at a 2% favorable move, then my break even is set up. So then I don't lose anything on that trade. And then I close out at either 3% or at opposite signal. Whenever the market is looking very bullish, usually what I do is I have my take profit set up a little bit higher, somewhere around 5%. Sometimes in different cryptos, I use it at 10% or close at opposite signal. So you actually, I wanted to show you guys firsthand what this looks like. You can see on here that you have a really good move here, 8%. If we would have closed at opposite signal, you would have closed at around 7.3%. Now, there's times where the signals are actually really close, as you can see on here. And just like anything, you have to take the good with the bad. So for example, here from the first buy to the first sell, you would have maybe only made about 1.7% gain. Now, there's times where you do have closer signals, closer buy and sell signals. One thing that I've noticed is that that's perfectly fine. if you make 13% off one move, but then you lose maybe about 1, 2, or 3%, over the course of time, you're going to see more gains than you do see losses. And ultimately, that's what we want to do for this particular strategy. For myself, I have this strategy running 24/7. So I do see I do see where sometimes, I'll open, my bot opens up a buy trade and then closes that opposite signal, maybe about, an hour later with about a 1 or 2% loss, which is, so for me, it's perfectly fine because the way that my take profit and my dollar cost average settings are set up, I see more gains than I do see losses, and my losses are usually very minimal, but my gains all are always really, really good. And that's actually one of the ways that you can use this. The settings here call for you to be able to use it in a swing trade format if you'd like, or you can just do shorts. You can just do longs. It just depends on the strategy that you want to apply. If you want to apply just a long strategy during a bullish market, very good. Or if you want to do you want to apply the sell strategy during a bearish market, that's also a very good strategy as well. I'll show you what the actual strategy and back testing looks like. So as you can see on here, right? So we have multiple trades, right? So I did the settings for this. Like I said, it's a 30-minute time frame with ADA, and the way that I have the back test settings set up is I've applied this to start back testing from the beginning of the year to the end of the year of 2025. So as per those settings, we have about 260 trades, 23% profitable, profit factor 1.5. Now, these numbers, as you can see on here, we have really good green marks across the board. One of the things that I do is, like I said, I apply good DCA settings. I apply good stop loss. I break even after 2%. So once you actually apply those settings into your trading, you'll have even better results. But that, to each their own, right? To whatever your trading format is, then that'll work as well. But I wanted to go ahead and show you what this looks like on the board. Once you actually have the indicator and the strategy on hand, it also comes with a how-to, and it comes with a summary of the actual strategy, how you can apply each one of these settings. For example, the window, the forecast, the sigma, the multiplicative factor. If you want to do swing, if you want to do longs, if you want to do shorts, how does that look like on the board? But once you actually, apply it to your chart, you'll be able to update the settings. You'll be able to use, for example, the indicator is good for using on your bots. Make sure that the settings match, the settings for the strategy and the settings for the indicator match. And once they match, then you can set up your indicator to shoot alerts to your trading bot. So for example, here in this case, I have my MA indicator, and then you can set up your buy signal and your sell signal however you like, and then you can automate your trading via your trading platform. So I wanted to show you guys what that looks like on the board. I wanted to show you guys how effective and how good these calls can be. If you apply the settings to different cryptos, you'll see, for some, it works really good. For others, you have to tweak the settings a little bit more. But overall, the way that I use it is I have it running in the background over the course of a week, a month. The gains have been really, really good on there. So I have this applied. I have this strategy applied to multiple cryptos. So this is one way that I wanted to show you guys what it looks like on the board, how you can use it, and how you can use all the functionalities. Go ahead and leave a comment, reach out to me if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time.